Join me as I challenge myself to survive a whole day without the internet. Can I do it? Imagine waking up one morning to find your phone, computer, and every other device that relies on the internet completely dark and useless. No social media, no emails, no online banking, and no Google to answer any of your questions. Sounds like a nightmare, right? The entire internet shutting down for 24 hours would be a global catastrophe, affecting every aspect of our lives. The first thing you'd notice is the disruption of communication. No WhatsApp, no Facebook Messenger, no emails. You'd have to resort to old-school methods like landlines or actually going to someone's house to talk to them. Businesses would grind to a halt, with companies unable to process transactions, communicate with clients, or access crucial data. Emergency services would also be severely impacted, with hospitals unable to access medical records and emergency responders unable to receive critical alerts. This shutdown would also affect how we access information. No Wikipedia, no online news outlets, and no educational resources. People would have to rely on physical libraries and newspapers to stay informed. Even simple tasks like navigating would become challenging without Google Maps. The lack of connectivity would make everyday tasks exponentially more difficult. As the day progresses, the full extent of the disruption would become clear. People would struggle to get used to a life without the internet, and the initial shock would start to give way to frustration and anxiety. Just imagine not being able to check your bank account or pay bills online. The economic impact would be substantial, with stock markets unable to operate and businesses losing millions in potential revenue. The economic losses would be staggering, with businesses shut down and financial markets unable to operate. Social media platforms would go dark, leaving millions of users disconnected from their online communities. The psychological effects on individuals would range from mild inconvenience to severe anxiety, especially for those who rely on the internet for their mental health support networks. Communities that rely heavily on the internet for daily operations would come to a standstill. In a world so interconnected, a 24-hour shutdown would feel like an eternity. It would give us a glimpse into a life without the digital crutch we all rely on. If something critical were to happen during this shutdown, like a natural disaster or a major accident, the consequences could be dire. Emergency responders would have to rely on outdated methods to coordinate their responses, potentially leading to delayed or inadequate rescue efforts. The lack of access to real-time information would hinder rescue operations and exacerbate the impact of the disaster. Without the internet, vital information about the disaster, such as its severity, location, and necessary precautions, would be difficult to disseminate quickly. Communities affected by the disaster would suffer greatly, with delayed aid and relief efforts. As we wrap up this thought experiment, it's clear that the internet plays a critical role in modern life. It's not just a tool, it's the backbone of our global communication, economy, and information systems. The 24-hour shutdown would cause chaos and disruption on a massive scale. What would you miss most during an internet shutdown? Let me know in the comments below. If you're interested in more content on the impact of technology on our lives, check out my video on What If Your Phone Was Your Only Friend?